Hi, hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to today's stream. First of all, I sh- I should apologize. Last stream we had is on last month, May 4. I had a 3 weeks gap. The reason is like a lot of things going on my life, so I need to take this break and I'm like a little bit free from everything. So I'm restarting my stream schedule. So we are going to continue the stream as usual Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So we are targeting for like either Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Monday, Thursday, Saturday. So we would be targeting that one for from today onwards. Okay. So today, what we are going to start fresh is today I'm planning to learn and explore Chirp IO. So Chirp is nothing but the audio transmission protocol. So you can transmit the data between multiple devices using this audio transmission protocol itself. For example, I'm having a device, a mobile phone, and probably I have an application that's running on the Raspberry Pi. Then we can send the data back and forth between the devices from the mobile to Raspberry Pi or Raspberry Pi to mobile. So we can send the data using the audio protocol itself. So no Wi-Fi needed or no Bluetooth NFC protocol. So if there is any restrictions on these kind of communication in your devices or in your solution, then you can use this Chirp mobile audio transmission SDK so that you can transfer the data between multiple devices. So today we are going to explore that a little bit. I know the concept, but I want to learn how the SDK works and how we can integrate this SDK into like a multiple platforms. So today we are going to take a look at the documentation and try to create a sample application, how this audio transmission protocol works, and how the SDK facilitates integrating with the multiple platforms, including like iOS, Android, those kind of things. So today we will take a look at that at a high level. Then once everything is like going smooth, then probably we will create a simple sample or simple solution that's integrating with the chirp and a real-time use case, how we can do the data transmission through the audio SDK. So those things we will take a look at that today, right? So let's start with this chirp SDK documentation. So I'm just going to that the developer document site. So if you want to know what is chirp, you can go to chirp.io. So here they are having that white paper and other documentation, including samples. Most of the use cases is like communicating with the IoT devices. So you can see like how it's partnering with the Microsoft or Google IoT stuff. So you can see like a different things going on in this chip SDK. Including the solution, they're saying like it's a device agnostic, so you can integrate like a chip SDK with the multiple devices, and you can do like a seamless person to person exchange, like a transaction, or even you can do like a broadcasting stuff. So that's what the chip SDK is doing. So today we will see that one. Okay, first we will go to this developer website. So in this chip, they have this developer documentation. Okay. So Chirp enables your apps to send and receive information using sound. Chirp encodes an array of bytes as an audio signal which can be transmitted by any device with a speaker and received by any device with a microphone. Okay, so the requirement is we need a speaker and microphone in our device if we are doing like audio transmission protocol, right? The Chirp SDK, it is designed to be robust over distances of several meters and in noisy everyday environments. That's interesting. As the transmission takes place entirely via audio signals, no internet connection or prior pairing is required, and any devices within hearing range can receive the data. Okay. Chip signals can be generated on device from a dynamic data payload or recorded as an audio file or later playback. Cool. Okay, let's start with this one. I might have already signed up, but let's register for the credentials. Because I have seen this one like a couple of months before. So at the time itself, I should be tried this one, but I didn't try with any samples or something like that. I just play with their, yeah, it says user already registered. Is it signing in? Okay. Okay. Now we have signed in, right? To configure your app, select protocol from below and copy and paste the key secret config string into your app. Okay, they have the different protocol, standard 16 kilohertz, 16 kilohertz mono, and even like they are providing the ultrasonic protocol here. Okay, let's go with the standard one. Okay, when I play the chirp, I'm getting some sound here. Okay, so what is this meaning? We have this credential, key secret, and the config. But how I can send the data? Okay, they have a different SDK for Java SDK, Kotlin for Android, Objective C and Swift for iOS Mac application. Even they have like a .NET, so we can use Xamarin, I believe. I'm sure they have the Flutter application or Flutter SDK, but they didn't provide that in the documentation. I'm not sure why. And they have the JavaScript here. Okay, so let's see. We are starting with the .NET application here or some JavaScript application, right? Anything is fine. Okay. So to set up the Chirp SDK, you will need an application key and secret. We can get that key and secret from that site. Although Chirp sends data completely offline, registration credentials are needed to identify your user account. Okay. In addition to your key and secret, a configuration token is needed. So this is the token we got. So we have like a three pieces, right? One is your client, your key and secret, and that one is a configuration token. Okay. And using multiple different configuration, this one is for the audio protocol. Okay, that's fine. Now let's start with a simple example, right? How to send the data and receive the data, those kind of things. They're having iOS, even they're having the Python. So we can use Python SDK to start sending the data. I want like the simple one, like JavaScript or WebAssembly. Okay, here they said JavaScript SDK is send only. Please note that JavaScript SDK is send only. To send and receive the data in browser, check out the WebAssembly SDK. Okay. WebAssembly SDK is supporting only 16 kilohertz mono only. So to configure WebAssembly SDK, you will need to copy your app key from the applications page. Secondly, you will need to set the domain name you want the SDK to run on. At the bottom of the applications page, for example, localhost 3000 or something like that. Okay. Then we need to install the SDK, or we can install the SDK directly from the npm. Okay. Then once it's installed, then we need to import that Chirp SDK, and using the key we can send the data. To receive the data, we need to do the same thing again, and chirp on received, then catch the data. Okay, so they have the example app as well, so let's run this one. So this is the example app they have provided. So this example app is using a Chirp SDK using WebAssembly. So Chirp Messenger is like using computer speaker or microphone to send the data everything through like audio, right? So now let's start this example. So it's asking the permission to use my microphone. I'm going to allow that. And if I am sending message, it's playing some audio, but how I can make sure it's receiving also, right? So let's try in the different browser. Okay, I think I need to remove my headset and stop playing the audio so that we can see this one is receiving the data, right? So I'm going to remove the audio also. So if I am sending data here, oh, is it already sending? It's not playing through this one. Okay, it's sending the data, but where it is receiving? Okay, I think I need to change the sound settings here a little bit. You might not be able to hear this one because I'm going to change the output to external micro MacBook speaker that is not wired up into this OBS, so you might not be able to hear that sound setting play. But let's see. So I have two application opened here, so I'm sending the message. Where it is receiving this? Somewhere it should be receiving, right? Okay, I think it has only the send. Oh yeah, it has only send messages using sound. It didn't have the receive thing. But there is a mobile application that's having this chip messenger. So what I am going to do is I'm going to connect my iPhone here so that you can see my iPhone. We can look like how the iOS mobile application is receiving the data from the website, right? So we will see that one. I'm going to connect my device here and open QuickTime Player and connect the iPhone so that you can see my iPhone screen here. Then we can play with this Chirp Messenger IO so that we are sending the data from web browser, and once it's once my iPhone application is hearing the sound, then probably it should be receiving the data. So you should be able to see both stuff, right? So I have this new screen recording. Okay, so here it is. Here is my iPhone. So here you can see the chip messenger. So in this chip messenger, it's going to, we can like either send or receive the message, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the example again. So it's opening the example. Let's see. Okay. So it says Chirp Messenger uses computer speaker and microphone to send, receive messages by audio. It uses web audio and Chirp WebAssembly SDK for transmitting data over sound. Okay. So I'm starting this. I would make sure I'm arranging this one side by side so that we can see immediately. And from the web browser, I'm going to send the message. Hello. It's playing the sound and it should be received by here. I don't know why it's not receiving. Is there anything I'm missing here? It should be receiving here. Yeah, you can see like the hello is receiving here. So let's say hello world. Okay, it starts receiving and you can see the hello world is received in this Chirp Messenger, right? For example, if I'm sending here, I'm not sure like whether the WebAssembly they have their logic. I have full sound on me. Yeah, they don't have logic in this web. So right now, like the data in this example, what they have provided, the data is transmitting from web application to the iOS mobile app I'm having. So whenever I'm trying to send the data, when I'm sending, it's playing the audio in my computer speaker, and that is received by my iOS device here. So this is having this this is enabling the use case So whenever you are sending the data without any internet connection or without using any local connection like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth or NFC, you can integrate this Chirp SDK in your IoT device and your mobile so that you can send the data between these devices. Not only like IoT devices, you can develop any mobile application that's having connectivity in the local itself. For example, we can develop a multiplayer game like rock paper scissors or some other game, so that like all the devices they can play each other when they are nearby, so they can play or they can send and receive the data using the audio here. But most of the use cases is like connecting with IoT. So probably we would try like a sample that's connecting with the IoT devices. So I'm just thinking like let's develop a simple use case. For example, I am logging in. For example, the user is logged in into this device in iOS device, and they are doing some transaction here, and once everything is completed then they can go to the IoT device and make confirmation. Then that confirmation is sent through the audio devices, so that it's not like you don't need to do authentication in like a remote devices, or you don't need to connect in like same network, those kind of things. So you can just like implement this in any use cases without connecting with the internet connectivity, right? So those things we can do. So let's explore this more and see how we can integrate that in the mobile application. Then we will explore how we can do that in the real-time scenarios, right? Okay, so we have seen like the WebAssembly, the JavaScript example, and also the iOS SDK. They have a chip messenger application in App Store and the Play Store, so you can download the chip messenger that contain like two functionalities. One is like sending data and receiving data. So you can install this application, and you can send and receive data using the audio transmission protocol whenever you are nearby. For example, if I am having like another Android phone here, so I can communicate between iOS phone and the Android phone using this audio transmission SDK, right? Yeah, so this is this Play Store link. I would share that in the chat so that you can see that later. And also they are having iPhone application also. Yeah, so this is the app I have installed in this iPhone application or iOS. Okay, so I shared both of the SDKs, right? Both of the application. So it contained like a send text box and receive text box. So you can use this for like communicating between mobile apps. Okay, now let's start with the other part of the documentation. So I'm just interesting like what is the limitation of sending in like payloads, and what are the different protocols, and what are the different events. Like for example, can we create a network of devices that's connected in like a common place? For example, in the scenario of like a multiplayer games and all, let's see like I have two players come into like certain session, or can we and I have like I'm interested in like seeing what are the different authentication scenarios in this chip SDK and all. So let's go to the documentation and read go through one by one. So payloads data is provided to Chirp SDK as an array of bytes. This means that any arbitrary data can be sent in its existing form without having to subscribe to a specific data format or schema. Okay, so everything is like sending us a byte array, so we don't need like any schema or something like that, right? Even if it is a string, then we are converting that to the byte array and sending the data. Okay. Chirp SDK can be configured to use different communication protocol. They have like a near ultrasonic frequency also. So ultrasonic frequency is like a we should be used when noise disturbance is not wanted. Frequency between 17 kilohertz and 20 kilohertz are supported by virtually all mobile and computers. Okay. Right now, like we are hearing the sound whenever the data is transmitted, right? So if you are sending that in the ultrasonic frequency, you would not be hearing that, but because it's near ultrasonic frequency, right? Uh, okay, so it can do the transmission up to 8 broadcast channels. That's interesting. Okay, cool. And they have events and states. So when events takes place in the chip SDK, data is provided back to the user in callbacks. The available on state change in the SDK state is changing. Okay. On sending, when SDK starts sending some data, on sent, on receiving, on received, and on system volume change. Okay, that's good. And they have the multi-channel protocol as well, right? And we can see like the channel state also, so this is also fine. Supported platforms: iOS, Android, Python, embedded C, .NET, UWP SDK, audio API, WebAssembly, macOS, JavaScript. Okay, so they have like a multiple SDKs for this one. It's good. Okay, and they have the command line also. So let's start with the installing this command line so that we can send the data from the command line itself. Okay, installing this command line. So let's see that. In the meanwhile, I'm just thinking like what kind of sample application we can develop using this chirp. So I'm just thinking of the scenario where it should be sending the data. So where it should be sending the data so that so a couple of use cases, right? One is the communication, the party who is going to send the data and receive the data, they are like they are not like in distance, so they are going to be in together, right? And also I'm just thinking of scenarios like where it can be used in mobile devices and the IoT application. So let's see. I'm just thinking like, can we build some restaurant ordering based system on the Chirp SDK? If you go to like any restaurant, for example, panira bread or something like that, right? We are going and ordering that in the restaurant, and they are giving some NFC device or not like NFC device. They have this the radio frequency device, right? So once the order is ready, then the device is going to buzz, and we are going and collecting the order. So I'm just thinking like, can we build that kind of reference application? So I'm just thinking of creating a mobile application so that the menu is going to display, and we are going to select our food and click order. Then that's going to create a data, right? And that data is transmitted into Raspberry Pi device or any kiosk application, so that they are know like we have ordered. So the restaurant know we have ordered, so they are preparing the order, right? And once the order is prepared, then they are going to select like another they are going to send the another data, so that that data will find our device and it send the data to our device. So I'm just thinking this scenario at like a high level, so probably we should be thinking of developing this solution using this Chirp.io SDK. So that includes like a couple of things, right? One is we need to develop like a mobile SDK, and second thing, we need a web application or some Raspberry Pi devices application. It's going to list our ordering whatever we have ordered in the restaurant, right? So I'm just thinking like, can we do that one as part of this learning? So let's think about that. So today we will understand how Chirp SDK works and what are the different SDKs. Then probably from next stream, we would come up with a solution on this one and develop a full reference application from end to end. Right. So here we need to configure Chirp RC here. So let me open that in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so it's expecting in this format. So they have provided the profile and the different key. So this app key and all, we already created that in the applications. So let's see, since we are going to integrate that in the web application, or I'm just thinking like, can we do that in the ultrasonic? Let's do with the standard one. If we need, then probably we just do that in the ultrasonic, so that it's going to be like a sound free transmission rate. Okay, I have this key, secret and config. That's fine. Now going back to this demo. Okay, so it says we are ready here. So if I need to send the data, let me open the iPhone application again. I'm just wondering like how it's going to. I have the scenario like how I can do the secure communication between two devices. I need to look at that one. Okay. So let's say first we will see like we will send the data. Okay, I think I put it in the headset mode. My iPhone is locked. I think it's not. It didn't receive that here. Let me send from here. Okay, I think I need to choose a protocol differently. I think mobile device is using the different protocol. Let me choose the same protocol in like here so that we can see we can get and receive the data from the command line itself, right? So chirp receive, and from another command line I'm sending chirp send. Okay, so it received the data on channel 0, that is my microphone, right? Okay, so that is good. So I can send like more data here. So what if I'm sending like a big chunk of text, right? Is it going to play like the long audio call? I'm not sure like what's the limitation on that. Um, how much data length we can send, those kind of things. I think in ideal scenario we are going to send like the important key or something like that, key or token, so that both system can get the data separately. So let's see. We're copying the long text here, and I'm pasting it in this one. Yeah, it says like maximum length of 32. Yeah, that's what I thought, like how much length we can send in like a specific payload, right? So this one it's able to get. Okay, so that's the limitation. We are able to send only like a maximum length of 32, um, so that it can transmission data. So most of the time, like in a real case scenario, we are sending the data in like a unique ID, right? So I am I'm having some data. Probably I'm sending that in like some unique ID, or probably I can send that in like multiple audio signals. So that is fine. So let's go back to our SDK stuff. So this is for command line, right? So they have the tutorial for command line, and they have like tutorial for other devices like Arduino, Alexa toolkit, or even like saving the data into the Firebase and all. So I'm not sure like I'm going into that one, but we got like a good understanding of how Chirp is sending and receiving the data, and what are the different SDKs available, right? So that's a good thing. Yeah, they are using the iOS SDK. Okay, so whenever the data sent, they are saving that in the Firebase, right? Yes. So Firebase is scalable. Okay, so we'll be using Firestore to hold records of our data, storage to store the data in the cloud, and Chirp Connect to send the data to anyone nearby. Let's go. Okay, so that's interesting. So let's think about like our solution, what we are going to build using this Chirp iOS SDK. So let me do some simple diagram so that we would continue this one in like in the next sprint to build the solution, whatever we are trying to do that, right? So let's create a some blank diagram here. Okay, so the idea here is we are going to build some restaurant ordering system, right? So I'm just going to put some draft thing. So the user, why it's slow? Okay, so let's say like I have a user. So he's going to take a mobile, and he's going to order food, or select food from menu, right? Then once it's done, then it's going to ah, then once it's done, he's going to pay. He can pay from the mobile itself, right? So he can pay from the mobile device itself, or even like he can do the Apple Pay kind of stuff in the kiosk. So once it's done, then it's going to generate the confirmation data. So that confirmation, or basically that's the order data. So order ID and the data. So that's going to send it to the restaurant kiosk or restaurant application. So this is going to transmit in the audio wave, right? So let's say audio. I'm just building up like some solution so that I can do some reference application using this Chirp. So this communication is going to be done in the audio. So I'm just thinking like a user is going to, so user is going to open the mobile application, and in that application he can select like a menu. For example, I'm going to panira bread and I'm selecting like okay, I need sandwiches, I need eggs. So I'm selecting the menu and confirming my order and paying from the mobile device itself. Assume the user is already integrated with the payment methods and all, right? And once that is done, it's going to create a signature data that contain order ID and what are the things they have ordered, and that's going to send to the restaurant kiosk, right? And from the restaurant kiosk, the cook, he's going to pick up this order and they are preparing the order, right? If possible, they can send like a status to this mobile application pack. And once they have done with the order, then they are sending the data back to this mobile app using the audio transmission protocol itself. So assume this scenario is like the same, the ordering system scenario, but instead of that, it's just going to transmit everything in like using the audio transmission instead of internet connectivity, right? So that's a plan I am trying to do. So probably we would build this one. I would put like a nice diagram offline. So we would build this one using this Chirp SDK so that everything is like transmitted through the audio instead of having an internet connectivity or something like that. So we will do that one. Is there anything? Yeah, I think that's good. So we have learned today about like a Chirp SDK and what is Chirp SDK and how audio transmission protocol works and what are the different SDKs that is provided by the Chirp. And we also discussed about the scenario for a reference application to be built. So we can use this Chirp SDK to build that reference application on next streams, right? So that's good thing. And if you get a chance to see this video later, you can come and join in our stream so that we can learn and do this reference application together. Otherwise, today I will be getting signed off, and the next stream would be on Wednesday or Thursday. So we will continue this one on our next stream. And thanks guys, thanks for joining, and who are going to watch this video later, thanks for watching. Please do come and join in our stream so that we can make this learning more interactive and we can learn together on this Chirp SDK. Till then, thank you guys. See you later on next stream. Thank you.